Right, a very good morning to you. I'm yours truly, Stanley Nyaringita, and it's a beautiful, marvelous Monday morning right here just out of the studio, and Juna tucharaza vipropa sana. And I do have with me Jose Njiri, fire first aid safety practitioner. Utakuna tuambia more about yourself, all the way from Africa Fire Mission. And I'm wearing a very heavy clad. He was advising me that it's quite heavy, and he's wearing about 20 plus kg on him, plus his weight. Who are you, Mujiri? And there's just so much around us. Tell us everything that you're looking at here.
Thanks, Stano, for inviting me to this. It's really, I'm grateful for being here. It's a privilege. So right here, what you see,
yes,
my name is Jose.
Jose.
Yes, I had you say Jose.
But tumezoea.
Jose Njoke Emwe Goji. I'm a fire safety officer working with the Africa Fire Mission. And our main duty is to train, encourage, equip the firefighter. And then also we train the community on how to avert fire and prevent fire. That's actually my main job.
Right. Yes. How frequent do fires happen, even in Nairobi region itself?
Whoa, that's a good question. Not less than 6. Actually, 6 is a slow day, but thereabouts 6, going upward. 6 going, yes. Wow. Yes. And out of the 6, let's say on that slow day, out of the 6, what's the most common type of fire that happens? The common type of fire is gas cylinder fires. Gas cylinder. Yeah, mtu alisahau kuzima. Either mtu alisahau kuzima, either wametumia the not original regulators. Okay. This type of regulators. All right. You might find worn out pipes, which you're going to demonstrate actually physically on hapa tutaasha moto. Today we are going to go live on everything. Live fire. Yes. So. All right. So in case you're just joining us right now, we're doing matters first aid as we do every single Monday from around 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. just advising you on matters first aid. And today we're discussing how to solve hii maneno ya fire. He tells us that on a slow day, they just put out and extinguish about 6 fires in a day, and a huge number of that, about 80-90%, is gas cylinders. You do have a gas cylinder at home, and he's just explaining to us that probably the regulator ilikuwa mbaya, probably ulisahau kuzima, haukuweka hadi mwisho hiyo knob, haukufikisha hadi mwisho when you're probably cooking in the morning, the breakfast, ukirudi baadaye, and then you probably, maybe you're lighting a cigarette, lighting a matchstick, moto ikafanyika. And this really means that it is a conversation that we really need to have. Yep. So back at home, wherever you're watching us from, uko kwa ofisi, call in live. 0795 045 864 is the number to call us live. Ask all those questions that you have. You can also text us. 22047 is your SMS number. Also engage with us on our Facebook platform at TV47KE on Facebook. Nishaanza kusikia joto na hii. Leo ni ile siku jua ilisema itawaka proper. Imagine I have this for 6 hours sometimes.
6 hours. Oh yes, and also director tells me it's ni mzuri sana niambia watu whatever is just in front of us. Yeah, so there's definitely a fire extinguisher. How kg ngapi?
In is 5 kgs.
5 kg, okay.
5 kg of cylinder. I'll talk more about it.
Oh yes.
In is 6 kilo of gas.
Gas ile tumezoea. Oh yes.
This is a smoke detector. And then of course this is a fire blanket.
Oh yes.
Yeah. And these are tools that I'm going to use.
Ndio pia wajue ini for real. Yes.
Woo.
Yes, it definitely. Oh. I think the fact that I'm hot, it has detected I'm smoky. Yes, and another one here. There's also some water.
Yes.
You'll be telling us about that. Oh yes, and also a knob. So one of the most interesting bits about even having a very good knob about it, lazima ikuwe ukifunga unasikia yes in ile. And I think I'm one of those people who even just tightly having the knob, you'd even have a dry cloth and make sure it tightens kabisa. And then also to make sure that everything is okay. Nawasha the light, kama ni matchbox, and then I just have it on top of it to ensure that there's no...
I'll show you a better way of that. Thanks Stan for mentioning that. Junaweza washa hivi, ibaki tunajua kwenye ni wapi.
For real?
Yeah, so...
Oh, there can be a whole blow up on me?
So...
Hata kama nilifunga yote?
Hata kama ulifunga, there's a way actually, and that's what is behind you. Ebu leta yako hii hapa hivyo.
Okay.
E-liquid, just normal liquid that we have in our homes. How do you test for leakages? Instead of kutumia hiyo
process yote,
kiberiti, just use this, and I'll show you how. Stay tuned.
The common liquid detergent that we do find.
Ya kuosha nguo. Ya kufanya nini? Kama hapa hivi watu wanatengenezaga nyumbani. That's normal, ya kuosha vyombo.
Okay. Oh yes, definitely. In case you're just joining us, this is a conversation that you're having. He says about like a day they solve and extinguish about 6 fires. So that means about 5 of these 6 fires are due to gas cylinders. That means that there is a huge chance. Correct. If you, let's say, live in Nairobi metropolitan area, there's a huge possibility unatumia gas cylinder. So there's a huge possibility that you might have had such an incident, a near incident, or bado haija kufikia, but there are things that you're doing wrong. He tells me that hii kitu ya kuweka knob hadi mwisho and then just lighting the matchbox around hapo, it might come to blow me up, for real.
Yeah.
So you're explaining to us this.
I was explaining to you this. So it's one of the ways of how to test for gas leaks. Yeah, umepatiwa, you bought your gas
cylinder, yes,
from an authorized dealer. I repeat, authorized dealer. Si kwa hizi mapanya. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's my shortcut meaning.
Umeweka umestack your gas cylinders mpaka hapa. Alafu namwambia umepata authorization from this particular person to sell the gas. Nasema no. Don't buy from them. Go to and it's
a question we rarely ask. Nilete gas ni 1100 ndio nimelipa letter.
You have so much trust, but ikilipuka ukienda kwa ule utasema nawe ni nani bro? Bro, hiyo biashara tulimalizana. But if you buy from an authorized dealer, a petrol station, my friend, kama ina leak urudishe. You're good to go, man.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So you want me for me to test right now?
Oh yes, and I can help you. I can help you now. So I can let me see what I usually do. Yes. Then you let
for
me.
Example,
you'll tell me if I'm always wrong.
Yeah. Let's see. Then I don't know if you can be able to see. There's a normal regulator. And
just have the normal regulator. Let me remove my hapa.
Sasa umetoka kutoka kwa shika hii.
Wacha nirudishe hiyo chini.
Yeah, shika hiyo normal regulator, original regulator, hata hiyo unaweza kaa chini.
Wacha niweke hii chini. Sawa. And then now you can have probably for the viewer to have a closer look at this. So this is a point that I'm supposed to kuwasha moto.
Sasa hii umenunua kutoka kwa
so
petrol station. Before you put it in, unachukua tu hiyo
unachukua you look for the detergent
unaweka kwa bottle, a used bottle, alafu unamwaga hapo kidogo tu, just like two hapa katikati.
2 drops.
Na hapo katikati ni wapi? Kwa valve area. And then you put your eyes hapa hivi katikati.
All right.
The easiest way to tell if it is leaking is what? Take a guess. When it is having bubbles.
Oh.
When it's bubbling,
that means
utasema oops, ikitu ina leak.
Okay.
No.
Why the detergent? Na maji hizi.
Maji pia ni poa. But you see, because of the lather. Hii hapa hivi hii povu. What's povu in English? Lather.
The foam.
The foam,
yes.
The foam has already formed. Hiyo ikianza kububble, you'll actually tell. It will actually even kind of like bubble it up. Kama it is a very slow leak. Unaona sasa imeform kibubble. Watu hapa hii kitu
iko na leak.
So you'll actually go to an authorized petrol station, the ones who distribute this. And if they don't have there are some other gas dealers who don't have petrol stations. You call the dealer and they will come and check it for you.
Right.
In fact, they will replace it. Why? You have a receipt. So make sure always you have a receipt so that you can be able to get a replacement.
All right.
Yeah,
right.
That's the most simplest way of looking. Another way of knowing that it is leaking is actually the smell. By the way,
yes.
Let me give you a trick question. Does gas have smell?
It does.
I know we do not have this conversation. Does gas have smell?
It does.
Are you sure?
There's a funny smell that you'd hear. Uliacha the knob, on, and then you hapana.
Naturally, gas is actually a byproduct of petrol. So it's a natural gas. Haina harufu.
Okay.
Yo kasmell unasikia inaitwa makaptan.
Makaptan.
Yeah. This is an additive. It has been added by the manufacturer because our human senses
cannot detect the smell.
It cannot detect the smell.
Makaptan. I've learned that today.
Yes.
Okay.
So that makaptan smells like rotten eggs. Yani hata kama uko na COVID, my friend.
Utakupata. Atakuwa kumelala.
Utasikia harufu ya makaptan. So there is it smells like rotten eggs. Others smell like rotten cabbages. Yeah. All those rotten things.
Right.
So
we have that
smell. After that, you take nilete ile towel iko hapo chini. Sorry, I'm actually giving you some.
No, I'm your assistant here.
Yeah. So you take a towel.
I'm running quickly to what you.
Yes. And then unatoa hiyo maji.
Okay.
Remember, it was just 2 drops.
Yes.
Yeah. Si ati mingi. Ala sasa you come and there's a way of actually knobbing this thing. Watu wengine wanaishika wapi? Hapo. Therefore, ukishika hapa, guess what will happen? Utangoa. Utabaki na 2 items. Utabaki na hii na ubaki na hii. Unaona? So this is the regulator.
Sorry. All right.
Sorry.
Can hold this for you.
Me.
So allow
this
me
is the regulator.
So allow me to stand on this position.
Sawa.
As a so this is a regulator. So
just hold this one. The 2 parts.
All right.
This is the regulator.
Okay.
And this is the burner.
The burner. Okay.
So this is the complete one. Put them down.
Okay.
So ikikuwa complete inakuanga iko hivi. So sasa zile unai connect hapo, unaishikilia tu the burner on top with one of your hand.
Right.
Alafu hii unazungusha.
So this will be this is clockwise.
Clockwise.
Yes, clockwise.
Clockwise. It's okay.
Just
umesikia koka sauti? That is actually the ball valve that has pressed. The regulator has pressed the ball valve so that it can remove the gas itself. Umesikia koka harufu? Hiyo ni nini? Hiyo ni tumeland.
Makaptan.
Good job. You're a very fast learner.
Makaptan.
Yeah? So after there, hakuna haja kutest ati sijui na vile uko kuna kumbuka vile unasema. Again, you take your
liquid detergent.
Yes.
So this is just testing because I had bought the gas cylinder elsewhere.
Correct.
And probably my burner imezeeka kwa nyumba kama
hii hapa. Cheki kama hii. Imetumika mpaka
ilipikiwa chai kamwagika, maziwa kamwagika, everything.
Exactly.
And you rarely clean it.
Exactly.
How do you now test for the burner now?
So how do you test for the burner?
Yes.
Unakuja hapa, unaona hapa hivi chini.
Yes.
Umwaga hapa hivi.
Hapa.
Just splash it like that, around it. Hii cargo kama ina leak, this valve it is leaking, what will happen?
See, you have to see bubbles.
Thank you. You're a very fast learner. You'll see bubbles. And that's the only way of actually testing it so far. Yeah, for this one. That's when now you come and light it up.
Usianze mchezo ya kuwashawasha hapa juu.
Relax. There's a firefighter in the house and kukiumana, I have backup. So I'm looking for the matchbox yenye tulikuwa nayo. Thank you. Voila. Imetokelezea from nowhere.
Backup.
Yeah. Sasa ebu washa vile unaashaga. Usirila washa tu. Umefika kutoka job.
So good.
There you go. Imeaka. Iko seti. Yeah. So notice haifai kutoa hii orange color. Yeah.
Inafaa kuwe
blue.
Blue, yeah.
Inafaa kuwa blue. I've actually messed up with my regulator. Yeah. So in the instance
ndio sasa tulana.
Tuanze kulan. Okay. So this is just for
so kwa nyumba nikiona hii
iko quite good. It's actually natural gas. It's actually clean burning. Ukiona sufuria yako ina turn black, when you see your saucepan turning black, your regulator is faulty. So tusha test tumeona hailiki.
Yes.
Ukiona inawaka hivi orange, ina bana yako iko mbovu.
So what's the problem here?
So the problem is you need to change your
regulator. So the whole of it.
The whole of it. Now usinunue unauthorized dealers. Go to petrol stations.
Right.
Go to authorized dealers.
Okay.
Those are the guys that are going to help you.
Right.
So you just come and switch it off. Notice your motor ilikuwa inatokelezea hapa chini.
Oh yes.
Your motor was coming out from down here. I'd messed up with this specifically for that, so that you can actually get to see how it's supposed to go. Now there's a way that, for example, this thing is faulty. Hii kitu imebaki imengoka. Yeah? So acha tufungue. Hapa hivi tunacheza kalongo. By the way, did you ever play kalongo?
Hey, been chaba chama. Hey, some good times.
So
good times.
Of course you connect it. Ebu connect it for me, brother.
Hii juu.
Connect. Kimeumana. Yani hiyo side nyingine. Sorry, mazena kumix. Hizo jo.
Clockwise.
Yeah. That was for opening this.
So lazima
hata utaji hata ikwe sijui utumie manguvu.
Kisha click sawa.
You just come, take up your detergent. Ile iko na foam, and then you just test it around like that.
Sawa.
Hii hapa hivi bro, ina bubble? No, iko set.
Okay.
Just come, pick up your towel. Oh, by the way, a gas is it has a class. It has a class of fire. It's actually class C type of fire. So when you're extinguishing fire, you need to know what extinguishing agent you need to use. A fire extinguisher is not just a fire extinguisher, for your information.
Right.
So for this particular type of fire extinguisher, you use dry powder, which has a blue band on it, or a carbon dioxide extinguisher.
Okay.
Aya. Sasa nataka kuonesha. This gets interesting.
Ini leo nafaa.
Hiyo sasa sasa hii yako by mistake imengoka. Sasa tuna assume imengoka. All of a sudden we go like, oops. What do I do? Stano is panicked.
Oh yes.
Do I throw it outside? What do I do? Do I call?
Oh yes, and I was actually now getting to that.
Okay.
So because tumeelewa hii, and so someone by mbaya alikuwa niacha tu open ama alikuwa na default bana, alafu akaiwasha. Alikuwa anataka kupika kagitheri kake nini na ugali vizuri, akawasha, and then a huge flame ikatokea.
Yes.
So what happens?
How do you do it?
Yes, so
huge flame imetoka, imengoka.
Yes.
Imeanguka chini. Ulikuwa kuna watch TV 47. All of a sudden ukakamu, what do I do? This is the flame that you're going to see.
Okay.
I would rather, because of the effort I'm going to use much later on, I want to place this, if you allow me,
can help you to have it somewhere here.
Yeah, ekelea tu hapa.
Yeah.
So
then unasema mimi nikae at a distance.
Hapo hata ni sawa, relax tu. Itawaka hivyo. Hey, what will I do? Utadu? What will you do?
Na uweze karibia tuzime.
Umepanic, ikago ishalipuka, boom. Imechapa ceiling. What will you do? Tell me. Bisho. Unaona hata umeshindwa, si ndio?
Baka to what you do.
So if you have an extinguisher in your home, which hardly people have, I recommend people have at least a 2 kg extinguisher in your home.
Okay.
So kama hauna usipanic. Uko na towel keza?
Kuna towel.
You have a towel. You take and dip it in water.
The water.
And then watch me. Unaona pale nimeweka vidole zangu.
Okay. So mwisho.
Huku mwisho.
Sure,
Yeah, usifanye hivi, usiweke hivi.
Usiweke, so iweke
hivi.
Okay.
Mona? Alafu una come fold. You fold the fire.
Right.
You start left over right or right over left. This is how you do it. And then you press there, and then you come and close it.
Oh yeah. So at this point, allow me to also even advise the viewers who are watching this. So don't do this. Don't attempt to do this.
Don't try this at home, please.
And don't try this at home. So okay, so again, the viewers, even as you're taking a short break, remember you can be part of this conversation. 0795-045-864 is the number to call in live. You're taking a short break. When we come back, we continue this. Don't go too far.
Super fantastic.
Promoting insurance awareness with Insurance Regulatory Authority. It is any parent's joy to know that their child's education in future is secured. Education costs are increasingly expensive, while the future is filled with uncertainties. Take an education insurance policy today to assure your child's education in future in case of death or permanent disability. Your education policy remains valid. No further premiums are payable, and your child's education is assured. Read and understand the terms and conditions of your policy. This message is brought to you by IRA.
On this particular episode, we're going to be concentrating on carpentry.
My name is Fena Kawondi. I run a business called Fendi Interior Design. We specialize in furniture making.
What goes into the making of the furniture that you usually have in your house? What is the process?
When we buy dry wood timber that has dried with the kiln, and at times we also bring it outside here to let it sun dry so that the entire air is out. Then now we take it to the process whereby now we start the joinery and the carpentry work just kicks off.
The Grind, this Monday at 7:30 p.m.
Right, karibu sana. This is Morning Cafe, and it's about that time that we continue with matters first aid, and we're giving you first aid safety on in case of a fire incident at home. What do you do? And in case this fire incident emanates from the gas cylinder, you probably have a gas cylinder right now. You're probably actually cooking breakfast as you watch us this morning. So what happens in case you have a faulty burner, in case you have a faulty gas cylinder? Ulinunua some funny place, and then later on you realize that burner imevunjika and then there's a huge flame. We're having that before the break, so in case you're just joining us, do have here Jose, yes, yep, from Africa Fire Mission. Yes. So before the break, we had a huge fire, and then there's a whole, actually, some few seconds before you actually extinguished it, I was like, hey, will this work? I was honestly like that. I laughed on a voo. So before the break, we're also advising people, don't do this at home, and you say don't do this at home. But then if I'm at home alone, what do I do? So
if you're home alone, okay, the disclaimer was not to try it if there is kama hakuna moto. Ile for practice too. For practice, kama I'm perfect, don't do that. Okay. But if there is danger, if you're at home alone and the regulator has separated from the burner, that's when to do it. I'll show you two ways of actually doing it. Okay. Number one way is what? With a towel. With a wet towel. It's a normal towel. Ile unatumianga kupanguza mwili after ushatoka kwa bafu.
Or probably duster, ni duster huko unatumia.
I'm a duster, but it has to be quite
huge. Yes.
But please remember to shield your hands. Sawa ndio usibani.
Okay.
Haya, number 2. Water. I asked Stanley what he needs to do if akipatikana na hii shida. Most people use water as
so unamwagilia maji hapo.
Now I want to demonstrate to you guys why water is not a good extinguishing agent.
Okay.
I want us to light up this thing. Usijali, I'm here. Don't worry. Washa nare.
Haya.
Inizale ime disconnect. Sawa, ime disconnect. And unathink ati moto he will be extinguished with water. Watch this. This is just an experiment.
Okay.
And watch me. I'm actually wearing a glove. So please don't try this at home. Utaban. You will burn. Yeah. So just watch.
So it won't.
It won't. Watch again. So water does not extinguish gas cylinder fires. Nani get?
Yes.
Unacheki? Yeah. So I'll switch it off. So tutaizima aje?
Oh, bado ija.
Hii ni kwa sababu
ile gas kidogo imebaki.
You just take inaitwaje? A cloth, a wet towel.
Kama iko nyuma yako?
Iko nyuma yangu. You just hold it. Ama niongeze nare? Hebu ongeza nare. Watu waoni.
Ongeza for the views of it.
Relaxed. I'm here. I have remedies. Good. Oh, pole mazeni. Pole.
Iko fresh.
You just take that.
So in case huku, all right, so kuzima.
Alafu unaeka kidole yako hapa hivi.
Hautachomeka?
Hawezi ban. Ama tazi
for real?
Hawezi ban.
With the whole heat.
Lakini unaweza weka kidole yako hapa tu katikati. Inazima. Sawa.
Hey, okay.
Yeah. Kama uko confident, you can just come and
just take a wet.
Here's the science behind it. Ebu weka nare, washa nare.
I'm tempted to try all that on behalf of the millions of Kenyans watching us this morning.
Kama kwa kamera inaonekana.
I'm pretty sure, yes.
Stan, cheki pali, see where the fire is starting.
Oh, mahali hapa juu.
Yeah.
So, okay.
That's where the trick is. You just put your finger hapo hivyo katika.
So all this is the gas?
Yeah, this is the gas because it is pressurized.
Okay.
Yeah. Unaweka tu mate. Alafu na.
Hey.
So, and then you switch it off.
Yeah. Okay. So
Ushaomba, by the way. Just kidding. That
was
a bad joke.
I think after this off air, I'll now try.
Yeah.
Staki nijaribu on air and all that.
Third way, wacha nikuonesha the third way ya kutumia hii bucket.
Okay.
Allow me to I can pour it somewhere here.
Right. So even as you continue.
Nimerudi.
Okay.
I'm back. Aya. So, iko wapi ile bana ingine?
Ndio hiyo. So clockwise ingie, nikuwashie ama tutafute?
Super, thank you. Misbehave. Usipanic. Unakumbuka vile tulifanya ile
unaiweka hivyo, unafunika.
Remembering your whatever. Left, I mean right, left. Right over left or
right
left over right. Okay. And then you press. Hauna hiyo. Haiko karibu. Ile iko karibu.
Ndo
iko karibu. What do you do? Just take a door that is the size of that gas
cylinder.
And then you slap it on top, and then you suffocate the fire.
Haitachoma.
Haitachoma. Because it's just very little oxygen that is there.
Oh.
Remember fire, there are three components that make a fire.
Yeah.
There is oxygen, heat, and fuel.
Okay.
We call it the fire triangle.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So below the oxygen.
This fire, we actually need to suffocate the
oxygen. Okay.
The oxygen.
Wow.
Yeah. So how do you suffocate the oxygen? Kila mtu iko na bucket mtaani. Si ndio?
Yeah.
And by the way, this is what we teach in Mathare, Mukuru, Kawangware, everywhere else. Yeah. So you just come from a distance. What you need to understand the sun.
Yeah.
Sasa unaizima. Mlango yako lazima ikuwe wapi?
Mbele. Mbele yako.
Nyuma yako.
Nyuma yako. Oh, yeah. Nyuma. Why?
Ikiumana. Ikikata. You scatter.
Usianze kukimbilia juu ya gas
ukienda. But even by the way, as you extinguish it, call the fire brigade number.
Oh, so immediately kama saa hii happen, so I call the brigade number as I try to minimize.
Services already paid for by you, the taxes.
Yeah.
The government has already sorted, but we don't know. So what do? You just call Nairobi number. It is 020 22 22 181.
A quick one, even as you continue before tufunike.
Yeah.
The aeration of the room.
Yeah.
Do you have to run and start opening the doors and everything, the windows and everything?
If you have that correct mindset, if you're calm, if you're collected, you can do that. But over there, first of all, remember, isha chapa ceiling. Isha chapa ceiling.
Alafu possibility ya palimoto iko, kuna vitu inaweza kuna choma juu.
Ishaanza kuchoma spices zako. Above the umeko.
Yeah.
So by you thinking of, and maybe labda nini? Unaitwa nani? Window. Iko hapo iko mbele. Yeah. So
haya, wacha tuone practically.
You just come very confidently, mlango nyuma ya mgongo wangu. Alafu kama unaiwekelea tu mara moja.
Usianze trial and error ati.
Hakuna atukuishi. Unameshua tu uko tu yani confident. Even though you're scared. Yeah. So this is how you do. You're gonna do it. You count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. Notice. Imezimika ijazimika. Imezimika ijazimika. Good. Because
nasikia makapatan kwa.
Thank you. Wewe ni chop.
Ndio.
Yeah. Yo makapatan.
Makapatan nasikia kwa yes. I can feel it. Manufacturer
to help the human mind to actually identify manze gas in.
So far you've shown us 3.
Yes. Kidole.
Oh yes.
Hiyo ni kama unatumia
the pipe, yes.
Lakini kidole unatumia na nini?
For wet.
Nitwaje na towel.
Yes.
I'd advise to use with the towel.
A wet one.
Wet one is okay. Yeah, because it takes time for it to burn.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and if you're confident enough with like me, because hiyo story ya moto, I'm not Superman by the way. Hiyo moto imewaka. By the firemen, si ndio tunaogopanga nare zaidi.
Uongo.
Haki. It's just that we've been told the science of fire. We've been taught how to read smoke. Tunaonaga hii moto ni ya black. Hapo ni noma.
Wow.
So we actually do all that stuff.
Right, so back to so far, in case someone is joining us and they're wondering what we are doing, just trying to see how you to extinguish fire emanating from a gas cylinder. So for me, tuonyesha quite a number of tricks even before or rather in the process of kupigia fire brigade. Yeah. So next step
is actually just getting to know the causes of a liquid petroleum gas white leaks.
The LPG.
The LPG. Number one can be, what we've said is
some faulty
regulator.
The faulty regulator.
Buy your regulators, complete regulators like this from petrol stations or from authorized dealers or from the dealers who don't have petrol stations. Tafadhalini tununue wapi? Kwa authorized dealers. It is a little bit costly for your information.
Okay.
It is costly. It's not cheap.
Right.
Yeah, but hey, utachomeka. How much worth are you? You are so much worth. Hata tuwezi count. Yeah. Number 2, missing or damaged O-ring. That O-ring is actually hapa hivi katikati tukifungua. There's an O-ring there. If it misses, ni kablada tu.
Inakuga muhimu hivyo.
that is life and death. You know. Number 3, if your this hose tube here, it is damaged.
How do you know? Do you have to have regular checkups? Kujua it's damaged. Okay.
By the way, for your information, let me just put you on the line. I know you already have a gas cooker and you have this gas pipe. When is the last time you checked this pipe?
Kwa pipe mimi wa bedsitter kwa pipe mimi wa bedsitter sijafika hapa. Sisi ni wale tunatumia hii
QA na Yesu.
Oh yes. So regular checkups is
regular checkups
needed.
I've messed up with my pipe because I use this for my
for training and all that.
Yeah. So you need to check for cracks. What are you checking for? Cracks. Check for burns. Unaona kama hapa hivi I burnt it.
Oh yes.
Uangalie inafaa kutolewa out of service.
So for example, because hapo ulituonyesha ikikaa vizuri unakafunika. Ama unakafunika vizuri. Na kama ilikuwa kame crack hapa,
no problem.
Alafu imeanza kutokea from here.
No problem.
It's still the same.
Still the same. You can use your finger or na towel ukaekelea hapo. It will not burn you.
Are there any other variations of how to put off fire yenye inatoka from the hose pipe instead of just having those two kufunika mtu?
Yes,
maybe
you can also go to your
not as courageous as possible.
Exactly. I agree. That's why I showed you this as several options.
Yeah.
But I usually don't recommend this. I usually recommend that you use something that will not burn your fingers. Okay? Don't use something that will cover your fingers. You've just seen me using a glove and I'm a firefighter. I'm not metal. Yeah. So what are the ways that you can do?
So how about, because now I'm trying to think, the kind of things that someone might be doing in this scenario.
Yeah.
So ilikuwa na hiyo moto kubwa and then they try to pull out your pipe. So that means if you pull out, that means the huge.
Exactly. Huge fire imetokelezea
pale. So now you're dealing with this one and not the pipe.
Exactly. That's where now you come and use your bucket.
So you're penny quick thinking yenye naweza tumia.
Yes.
Okay.
And did you know, bro? You need to be if you have a family, they need to actually have what you call an acronym called EDITH. Exit drills in the home. At least once in 3 months. Wakitoka hivi chuo
unafanyisha drills.
Unaambia guys,
unaanzisha moto mtachanganya. Ile too light here. Okay.
Unasema tu moto lakini hakuna real fire.
Kuna real.
And then like here in your place that can see fire sending everywhere. You just go and tell your children, hey, we're going to go to Kim's house. Yeah? Kim's house number is C22. You go to Kim's house and we are going to meet there. You know?
As a drill,
default. That's part of the drill. Ndio kikiumana. Just the other day, did you know that about 5 days ago, I was called by my friend that the sister-in-law's house was on fire? Yani, mtu anaishi kwa hao ya mawe hapa hivi Makadara na hao yake inabana. How devastating. Na alikuwa na watu ndani. So
and even as you continue, because you bring a very interesting bit here. Bakadara and all that, so mtu anaishi kwa nyumba ya mawe. But then you've also told us that you have some of those trainings in Mukuru kwa Njenga, the Eastlands bit. And this person lives in a mabati, corrugated, iron sheet kind of house.
Yes.
So that means, because I'm taking a look at nyumba ya mawe, even feeling the heat kind of everything compared to your mabati, it will maybe heat up faster. Tell us the variance of that.
The mabati of course heats up faster, it burns faster, and actually it radiates that fire to the next building. That's why you see a house like in Mathare and Mukuru, ikianza kuchomeka, about 30 or 300 will get burnt within a span of 7 minutes. That's why I've given the fire brigade number of Nairobi. So that when we are trying to put out this one house, kuna mtu anapiga zimamoto, and like here ya mawe imetengenezewa na fireproof. Cement itself is fire resistant.
Right.
So before it spreads to the next, it take a lot of time to the neighbor. Might even not even get there.
And even as you continue, because this, even for someone watching, they'd really have to ask this. Fine, I live around Nairobi, and maybe I also witnessed this fire, but the response time that this fire brigade guys came was, let's say, even hours later. And you'd find, let's say, some of these fires, you can also tell us the exact times that, but do they happen mostly in the evening, night hours, also during the day? But then, what's the typical calling time? You know, I called, I live somewhere in kama wapi, let's say Mukuru kwa Njenga, nikapiga simu, kuna moto hapa, kujeni hapa kwa chief, for example, kujeni, and then you guys come, let's say 1 hour later. What's the typical thing that happened? The procedure also. The procedure.
Yes, thank you. Let me start with the procedure. We are roasting, you're noticing, we, as soon as I said, the Mabati house is on fire, call, piga simu, bro. As soon as umeona imewaka, piga simu. Why? 99% itaanza kuspread. So what people don't do is, hey, of course you're supposed to say wood, but people start salvaging their stuff.
Then now they call for the later.
That's what they own.
They're worried about,
They wanna own. So we have also to be fair with the people who live there. Lazima nise vitu zangu, nianza kupigia fire brigade. So the first thing is, salutu na zimamoto, call the fire brigade. I can tell you for free. And I hope people don't try this right now. If you call 020 22 22 181 now, the second ring, it will be picked up. Please don't try it if you're not in danger right now. Please. There's somebody who's in danger right now and they need that call. But, hold up.
Okay.
So, as soon as you call, it takes from 7 minutes, not more than 13 to 14 minutes. The other extra 7 minutes is for what? Traffic jam, the distance and all that. But typically, within 7 minutes radius, tuna cover Nairobi. That is the Nairobi Fire Brigade. So it's from 7 to 14 minutes.
Right. You can tell us if that is actually true from wherever you stay. If you've actually ever tried to reach out to Africa Fire Mission, to other fire brigades, and just mkapata hiyo maneno yote. I see we have about 7 or about 6 minutes to wrap it up.
1 hour's already gone?
Yes, about 6 minutes to wrap it up.
Started.
We can definitely use some of the 6 minutes to just tell us the kind of common mistakes people do. You've highlighted some, and also a few tips, practical tips on what to use.
Practical tips. Number 1, please own a smoke detector in your home. Your sauti, it is to inform you that there's an active flame or there is smoldering fire. Ile smoldering fire ni kama the one for smoking and things like that. It will put out this smoke detector. Own that one. It is available in safety shops.
All right. And it's affordable?
Yeah, it's very much affordable. It goes with less than 2,000 bob.
Hiyo ni pesa mzuri ya mkulima mdogo hiyo.
Una hata lunch yako sina ni 3,000 baadaye. So
usinipandishe sana. Okay, so there's a fire blanket.
Fire blanket, own one. Very readily available.
Very okay.
So the common mistakes that we do is that when this thing is on fire,
a gas cylinder. Okay.
Never, ever, ever throw this cylinder from the top. Ati oya, uko toka gas inawaka, and then you release it.
What's the danger that will happen?
This is compressed gas itself inside here. We are talking about 30 bars. It can withstand 30 bars of pressure. Vile iko hapa sahi. So there's no way that ikikuwa hapa tinaweza lipuka. Not unless this whole thing is on fire. Unless hii kitu Stanley iko on heat, is really hot, that's when it will blow up. But at a certain temperature.
Do you also do that? Because, for example, you had some leakages, because you showed us moto ikitoke hapa. What if there was some leakages, kitu ilifanyika and just some leakages mahali hapa, and the fire also is protruding from here? Do you also do the bucket
so in that trick? Instance, no. For example, imeanza kutokelezea wapi? Kwa hii crack. There's a crack here.
Okay.
Ikitokelezea hapo, what do you need to do? Call the fire brigade teke. That one hauwezi fanya, it's beyond you.
Na kama niko na hii kwa nyumba?
Hii, it will not work.
It won't?
Because it might work it might work, but you just have like 6 to 7 minutes of time. It will work. Actually, this is a CO2 extinguisher, carbon dioxide extinguisher. You need to have it in your home. It's a clean agent that releases.
Right.
You police it on over here, but don't do it now.
I'm tempted to have the whole.
Don't police it. Itazimika. Ikikataa kuzimika, piga 020 22 22 181. That is for Nairobi.
Okay.
You're good to go. Another way that you need to actually check, and that is a good point that you mentioned.
Yeah.
There's actually an expiry time for this gas cylinders, and it is indicated. You might find somewhere like here on a sleeve. This one doesn't have. It is actually somewhere here on the ground on the cylinder itself.
Okay.
You find it is written, for example, B13. What does that mean? So A, B, C, and D. That letter A represents January, February, March. Letter B represents
April, May, June. Okay.
Letter D represents
July,
August, September. Letter D represents October, November and December. All right. So ukiona hapa kwa mfano sasa tuko 2013. Ukiona imefika 2013 inasoma tuko April.
2024 April.
2024. Okay, maybe umeona B 2024. Yeah. So by June 2024, it needs to go back where? To the manufacturer. For what? For different tests like hydrostatic test, impact test that I was telling you about 30 bars, and the pressure cycling test.
All right. So even as so kisimama, and it's one of those questions that I'm getting around here. We're definitely seeing the burns on your face. Is it from working here?
No. This I got burnt when I was 4 months old.
Is it what inspired you to get into this career?
No, it's just purpose. When you walk into your purpose, you and just like, know that this is what you are made for.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Where can guys get your services as we wrap it up?
Right. Yes. You can reach me on TikTok, Firefighter Jose. That's why you can reach me, inbox me, and I will come and address your issue. You can reach us on africafiremission.com on all platforms. That is on YouTube, TikTok, everywhere else. TikTok, what else? X.
X.
Yeah, and all other platforms.
Asante sana Jose. Yours truly Stanley Nyaringita. Asante sana for sticking around this marvelous Monday morning. It's a bright day right here in Nairobi. Tuonane kesho for a terrific Tuesday. Adios.